Well, welcome to Ask Chef Tony again. We are down the Florida Keys right now. Today we had a pretty long day. We went to catch some lobsters, a little fishing, and it was kind of a pretty intense day. So we decided to do something with some of the lobster we caught without being too complicated or too fussy. Now, for the people out there, these are Florida Keys lobster, the spiny lobster, which is not really related to the Maine lobster, which has those big claws. This is what you get down here. It's beautiful, super fresh, you can tell. So we're gonna cook some of those. We're gonna steam them. As a good friend of mine down here, basically the host of this house, suggested that this type of lobster, 8 minutes, we should be fine. We're gonna go with his advice, and he's so kind to host us down here at his house in the Keys. I'm going to introduce you to the other Tony, which is going to explain a few things that some of us might not know about what we're doing today in terms of the lobster, and also stone crab, which is in season right now. He's Tony. He's going to tell us what we got here.
All right. Well, you guys went down today. You went diving here in the beautiful Florida Keys on our reef, and you got these lobsters. Beautiful, fresh, live lobsters, and we're very glad to have them because they've given their lives for our pleasure.
Our pleasure.
For
That's
our pleasure.
a very good one, yes.
Of course. And you were fortunate enough to come across a stone crab, and the stone crab are pretty much indigenous to the Florida Keys. They're the delicacy of the Florida Keys. You see that we only have one claw right now, and the crab itself is back in the bay right now.
Right.
Because
we don't kill the crab.
No, we don't kill the crab. We only take the claw, and the claw will regenerate itself on the crab.
It's an amazing.
Yeah, it would be good if having everything, you know. But could you imagine having a pig that you cut the leg
and it'll go
then you get another leg on the pig,
and then you continue to have a prosciutto for the rest of your life
off of one pig. How good would that?
That would be good.
That would be wonderful. This is a small stone crab claw. They come sometimes. The colossal claws might be, as big as a fist. This is also a favorite food of nurse sharks. There are many sharks in the bay. People don't realize how many sharks there are in the bay.
And different species.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But there are many sharks in the bay where you least expect them, in the very shallow water.
And we like to swim with them, right?
Of course. You swim with them every day, you just don't know it.
How would you explain the flavor of the meat versus like a blue crab or some other?
It's very sweet. It's a very large piece of meat, so the meat you're going to get out of this is going to be much larger than you're going to get out of any blue crab. Right. So you get a nice big piece. Best meat, I think, are in the knuckles.
The knuckle.
The knuckles
I agree with you, of course.
This is the sweetest, the most tender meat that you're going to find on this.
That's the part to fight for.
Right.
At the table.
Right. So there's one for me, one for you, and everybody else can have the claw. Now the thing about stone crab, some people eat it hot and some people eat it cold. My preference is to cook it and then chill it and eat it, where some people also like it hot. I think the flavor is much better after it's cold. And then we make a traditional sauce, a dipping sauce for it, which is a honey mustard sauce. So a little honey mustard with some, I don't think I have any key lime here, but
we got what we got.
And this is the thing about cooking, is you make do with what you have, and you make it wonderful.
Fantastic.
I don't need to tell you this, you know this.
Do I?
You are Chef Tony, so if they're going to ask you, you must know. That's what I think.
Sounds good to me. Why don't we get to it?
Let's go.
Cut. We're going to make one of this per person. The first thing we want to do here, I like to flavor the water just to put a little bit of vegetable taste in there. We got carrots, some red onion, some celery. We have a little steaming basket. I put a couple inches water at the bottom, and I'm gonna add some of these veggies in there. As I said, I like the little extra flavor that the veggies are gonna give us. We don't need to add salt, we don't need to do anything crazy to that because they just came out of the ocean, so we're good. Ready to dunk them in the jacuzzi over here. We're gonna do that. We are going to go with my friend's suggestion and we're gonna cook them for about 8 minutes, and we're just gonna have a nice delicious light dinner. I have a nice idea. We're gonna make 2 dipping sauces. You make yours, I'll make mine.
Okay.
Sounds good? See you in 8 minutes. Alright, so we're gonna make 2 different type of dipping that could work either for the stone crab or the lobster. I'm gonna make a lemon olive oil, very basic. I like to go a little light at this time of the day and night. We're gonna use a touch of sea salt, some pepper, and Tony here is gonna have his own ingredient that he can tell you about. And let's go ahead and do it.
Okay.
You ready? I like to start with some of the sea salt right there. I put the salt first so it has time to melt. I'm gonna put a little black pepper. And I'm gonna start with squeeze some of this wonderful lemon in there. It smells so graciously good. As you can see, I catch all the seeds in there. Again, you make a little extra, it's not like a crime or anything. You put it back in the fridge and you can use it later. So far, I think I'm going to use, that's pretty much enough for me. Do we have any parsley around here?
I don't think we went to the store today.
Alright, so let's skip the parsley. Maybe we could add actually a little bit of garlic if you have.
I do.
I'm gonna finally chop it. Throw in there some olive oil. We're gonna drizzle in there. We decided not to do any butter tonight, but there is also that option. If you prefer butter instead of olive oil, hey, it's fine with me. Whatever you like. I think we're gonna have some good time here. And that's all there is to it. Done.
Okay.
Why don't you start yours?
I'm going to do the same thing. I would usually use some key lime, but so anyway, I'm going to use the lemon here because this happens to be what we have on hand. So I'm going to use the juice from 1 full lemon, and it's really very simple. What we're going to do here, we're going to use, and again, I'm using another local ingredient, which is some avocado honey, and any honey will do, but we also have a lot of avocado trees that grow here in Florida, and so this is honey that is taken from bees that feed on the flowers on the avocado trees. Fantastic. So very simple. We'll use 1 tablespoon.
I see that it's nice and dark too.
Yes, it is. It's very flavorful, and you can really.
Can I taste it?
Of course. You can taste the difference between this and another honey. There's 1 more tablespoon of the honey, and then I like to use the Dijon mustard, the smooth Dijon, not the grainy Dijon. 2 parts mustard to 1 part honey, and then a little bit of salt, sea salt, and a little bit of black pepper. And I like this pepper mill because it grinds it very coarse.
I see.
And then we just whisk this around a little bit.
It's already looking good.
And that's your dipping sauce.
Now the shell gets very hot, so Make sure you have the proper utensils when you're doing this part. And let's go. You can just simply have them like that. You can turn them into a salad. You could do little roasted vegetables with it. It's up to you what you want to have with them. We are going light tonight. Well, to make things easier, now I'm gonna split them in half so we don't have to go too crazy trying to peel everything apart. And we're gonna go to the table and enjoy it. Thank you for watching once again. Ask Chef Tony and Tony from the Florida Keys live. Enjoy.